Today, we're diving into my brand new series called Missed Opportunities. That could have completely revolutionized Mortal Kombat 1. Now, imagine if the weather wasn't just a backdrop, but an integral part of the game, giving certain characters buffs, power-ups, and even altering the way you approach each fight. Now, this concept could have taken Mortal Kombat to a whole new level should it have gotten introduced in Mortal Kombat 1, especially for those elemental-based fighters. So grab your controllers and let's explore how dynamic weather effects could have changed the game completely. Now, before we do that, I want to go ahead and point out to you guys that I'm going to be breaking this video down into different segments, and you can click any segment that you want by scrolling down to the comments and clicking the timestamp so you can get to any part of the video that you would like to get to. I'll go ahead and walk you through the segments real quick so you can know if you want to watch this video or not. Number one segment is going to be introducing the idea. Number two is going to be lightning and rain. Segment number three is going to be snow and ice stages. And then segment number four is going to be adding depth to the fights. Segment five is going to be balancing the system, because you guys are going to want to know how is this system going to be balanced if it was implemented, correct? Now, segment six will be special moves and fatalities. So you can skip to any of those segments below. I just wanted to briefly point that out for you guys. Now, let's start with segment one, introducing the idea. So Mortal Kombat has always been known for its brutal combat, iconic characters, and of course, those unforgettable stages. But if the weather in those stages weren't just for show, what if it could actually impact the fight? Imagine playing as Raiden, the god of thunder, and suddenly the rain starts pouring down in the living forest stage. Instead of just looking cool, this rain could actually supercharge Raiden, making his lightning attacks more powerful and his abilities faster. Now, the same thing could be applied to characters like Rain. That will work heavy for Rain, him being able to control, rain, and being a mage. He can control that water. We all know in his ending, he caused some type of tsunami or whatever. But anyway, it wouldn't stop there. Other characters could also benefit or suffer from the weather conditions. Let's break down how this could actually work, starting with our elemental warriors. Now, segment two, lightning and rain. Let's start with Raiden. In a stage where it begins to rain, Raiden could gain a significant boost in his lightning-based attacks. His special moves like the electrocution or lightning bolt could do increased damage or have a quicker recovery time. Now, additionally, he could gain a new ability where his lightning spreads out when it hits wet surfaces, creating a chain reaction that could hit multiple, it basically can hit the opponent multiple times is what I'm saying, or even extend the reach of his attacks. This would make rain-filled stages a strategic choice for players who main characters like Rain, Raiden, or anyone else that can control the thunder. Now, the thunder and rain, I should say. Adding a whole new layer of depth to the gameplay will completely change Mortal Kombat forever. Now, next let's talk about Fujin, the god of wind.
Fujin, summon the wind.
He's not in Mortal Kombat 1. Could be a possibility that he can show up. We'll touch on that later. Let's just say the god of wind. If the stage has strong winds or a storm, Fujin could harness this to make his moves more evasive and quicker. Imagine his tornado spin move having extended range, or his wind-based attacks pushing opponents back even further, making him a nightmare to approach. The wind could also make it harder for opponents to move freely, showing them, down while Fujin remaining unaffected. This could drastically change the flow of a match, especially in outdoor stages like the Dead Pool or like the Sky Temple or something like that. So being able to play as a character like freaking Fujin And having that wind on your side, it can be a huge disadvantage for the person fighting them. But don't worry, we'll get into the balance thing a little bit later. But we are talking about gods, elemental gods here. Now, segment 3, snow and ice stages. Now let's head into the cold with Sub-Zero and stages like the Lin Kuei Temple, where snow is falling and ice covers the ground. Sub-Zero could become even more formidable. The cold environment could make his ice-based attacks last longer, maybe even causing a freezing effect that takes a bit longer to thaw. His ice slide could cover more ground, and maybe he could create ice patches on the stage, making it slippery for opponents and causing them to lose their footing. This would not only make the stage more interactive, but also give Sub-Zero a home field advantage that truly feels impactful. Now, a lot of you may point out the fact that Sub-Zero can do some of these things without the weather. The whole thing here for this video is adding to the experience if they were to include stages and weather into the factoring of people's power. That would be visually appealing. It would be very, very dope, you know? So that would also go for characters like Scorpion and Tremor, you know, just basically being in different environments. But what about non-elemental characters? I know that's what a lot of you are going to ask in the comments, right? Could they benefit too? Well, absolutely. Scorpion, for example, could have his Hellfire abilities become more intense during stages that are dry and are, you know, fire-based and things of that nature, like the Wastelands. His fire-based attacks could have extended burn damage, and his teleportation move could become quicker, making him harder to predict. On the flip side, if Scorpion is fighting in a rain-filled stage, his Hellfire might be slightly weakened, forcing players to adapt to their strategy. That would be pretty dope because everybody gets an advantage and everybody gets a disadvantage. That would make the game fully fair in my opinion. Now, segment 4, adding depth to fights. I'll go ahead and tell you this right now. What if the weather wasn't just a constant thing that happened, but something that could change during the fight? For instance, a stage could start out with a calm vibe, a clear sky, but as the fight progresses, the weather could gradually shift. Rain could start pouring down, snow could begin to fall, or the wind could pick up. This would force players to adapt on the fly, making each match feel dynamic and unpredictable. The introduction of changing weather conditions would add an extra layer of strategy, where you not only have to outplay your opponent, but also outsmart the environment. Now, NRS did have a stage like this that was in Deception, where the stage would be bright in the background and then it would start raining. Stages like that would be perfect for this type of system if they were to introduce it. Now, segment 5, balancing the system. Of course, with all these buffs, you'll need a way to balance the system, right? Weather-based power-ups would have to come with trade-offs. For example, while Raiden might become more powerful in the rain, his lightning could also become more unpredictable, with a small chance of it backfiring or causing collateral damage, such as hitting himself multiple times or things of that nature. Now, similarly, if Sub-Zero is on an icy stage, his movements might become more fluid, but he could also be more vulnerable to fire-based attacks. This balance would ensure that no character becomes too overpowered and that every match remains fair and competitive. I know that'll be a concern for a lot of people, so I had to just throw that in there, a balancing system. Now, segment 6, special moves and fatalities. Let's not forget about the fatalities. Imagine weather-influenced fatalities where Raiden uses a full-blown thunderstorm to electrocute his opponents into oblivion, or Sub-Zero freezes an opponent solid in the middle of a blizzard before shattering them into pieces. These weather-based fatalities would not only be visually stunning, but would also add to the overall atmosphere of the game, making each fight feel more depending on the stage and weather conditions. That would be so dope if they did something like that. Now, I will do another video on environmental fatalities, aka stage fatalities. I'll do another video on that, kind of touching into it and kind of spicing that up just a little bit or whatever. But anyway, and there you have it, folks. A deep dive into how dynamic weather effects could have completely transformed Mortal Kombat 1 should Ed Boon have included it. From supercharged lightning strikes to icy battlefields, the possibilities would have been endless. What do you think? Would you like to see weather play a big role in the game? Drop your thoughts in the comment below. I'd love to hear your ideas. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, as it helps the channel grows tremendously, and it is a beautiful way of paying your respects. Subscribe for more Mortal Kombat content and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep fighting, guys. Keep fighting.